Hello friends, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I built a cat cafe. I know I literally just built one of these probably 3 videos ago, but we're gonna ignore it because this time it's a functional cat cafe because Businesses and Hobbies finally gave us the ability to actually make a cat cafe. And as a cat lover and a lover of cat cafes, I am so excited to actually go and play with this because I haven't yet. But this is like a dream come true. I used to go to cat cafes all the time because our old apartment was quite close to one. We literally used to be there every single week, and the people who worked there knew who we were because we just loved it so much. Cat cafes are so fun. The cat cafe that we always went to wasn't one where you can like adopt the cats, they were just their cats, but I do know that those places also exist, which is so fun. And I would love to go to one of those one day. But all of the cat cafes I have been to have like, the cats just live there all the time. I had to try this a few times because I really struggle with the build style of this, which is weird because I thought I would really like this because it's very similar in style to like the houses you would see in like Amsterdam and stuff, and with like the townhouse vibes and the way the roofs look and stuff, which is very beautiful and very cool. But I'm really struggling with how skinny the townhouses have to be because to fit those roof pieces, they have to be like 5 tiles long, and if you can maybe make it look good on 6 tiles. I'm not sure, I've only tried it on 5 wide. But with how big all of the lots are, which they're really small compared to a lot of the other packs, we've got a lot of small lots in this one. We have some 20 by 20 and 20 by 15 lots, which is the smallest size we have in this game. But it still feels too big for how small the roof pieces are. So I'm finding it very hard to make the lots look like they're like filling up the lot and they're still making sense as what I'm trying to build. So I'm finding that very difficult because I feel like these should be like really small and cozy. But then the lot is just empty. But I do really like how this turned out. I made it like 2 townhouses and then kind of like a structure in the middle to give it a little bit more space because otherwise the cat cafe would have been absolutely tiny and we wouldn't have been able to fit anything inside of it. But I really like how this turned out. I do wish we had more cat items, and I'm kind of sad that because Cats and Dogs is an expansion pack, we'll probably never get more cat items, because I'm like, I wish we had more different types of like cat toys and cat trees and like climbing things that you can put on the wall. So you'll see that I've put some shelves. You'll see this later in the video. We're not even close to being there yet. But at one point you'll see me put like shelves on the wall without actually putting anything on those shelves because I like to pretend that they're like little places where the cats can climb. Because you see this in a lot of places where they put like a bunch of fun stuff on the walls and then the cats can like play and run around because cats love climbing up on things. So I just thought that would be fun even though it's not functional. I kind of tried to separate the cat cafe into like 3 separate areas. They're not actually separate at all because of how small the space is, obviously, but you have like the bar area at the very front because I also would imagine that this is a space where like maybe people just love the coffee here, so they just get a coffee and a cake in the morning and then they go to work. In my head, cat cafes are very like friendly places. The one that we went to, like we knew the owners and they were always the same people working there, so it seems like a very social place to me. So it makes a lot of sense to me that people would just come to a cat cafe for their morning coffees, even if they don't have time to actually stay and hang out with the cats. So I tried to put that close to the entrance. So yeah, we have the coffee area at the very front, and then by the front windows, I made like a little seating area with like sofas and stuff so you can lounge a little bit more and hang out with the cats. And then I also put some tables so that you can do your homework here, or you can bring your Sims to like read. You will also see me add in a little space by the front door, which might not make a lot of sense to you if you've never been to a cat cafe, but usually at a cat cafe there will be like a double door system so the cats don't escape, which I didn't put in at first, but then I was like, actually, it might make sense that way, because if you do it like this, you can lock that door for all pets, which means that your cats won't like go outside and go like run out of the building and then they're gone. This way you can like make a little separate area where the people can like hang up their coats. So even though it might not be actually necessary in The Sims, I did think it was a fun little detail for realism, because I've never seen a cat cafe where there isn't a little like double door system, because otherwise I would be extremely worried about the cats running away. So even though you can just lock the front door for your cats, I feel like it kind of makes sense this way. The upstairs is like fully a staff area. I haven't really seen, like when I play with the pack, I don't really see my employees going into my employee spaces very often. But I thought this would be a good space for like my cat employees, aka the cats that we have. I thought there would be a good space for them to hang out, because again, cat cafes will usually have like a little space where the cats can go and the customers cannot go, so that if the cats are getting upset or stressed out, they have like a space that's theirs and a space that's safe, so that they don't like get forced into hanging out with annoying strangers all day. You'll see me decorate the upstairs later. I put some like litter boxes, some food bowls, because I don't think the food bowls and litter boxes should be in the public spaces. They should be allowed to like have their basic needs met in a private area. But then I also put like a coffee machine for your employees and like a table for them to hang out and chat. Even though I don't think employees really take breaks that much, I've only really seen my employees take breaks to just like go socialize with customers in the middle of a workday, which actually is pretty realistic. I will be honest. I don't really see them entering the staff spaces that often, so I don't really know if the staff will actually use the employee-only rooms, but it's more there for the cats anyway. And then I had a lot of space to fill up, so I just made sure that my employees could also have some fun stuff up there. I tried to put in some cat trees and everything downstairs so that the cats would do most of their like playing and stuff downstairs, but then they can like have some resting space as well upstairs. Because I do want to try and keep the cats downstairs for gameplay purposes, because that's more fun. I feel like a lot of times when I build places like this, I try to, like, especially with libraries and things, I try to clutter up the tables a lot. But I also realized that that's kind of annoying, because if you actually take your Sims there, there's no space for them to like put their food down or put their homework down that they have brought. So I decided to like leave the tables mostly blank this time. And it makes me feel a bit sad, because I'm like, it looks so plain, but it doesn't actually look plain, and it makes a lot more sense for gameplay purposes to actually have some empty surfaces that can be useful, because otherwise your Sims aren't going to actually be able to do their homework because there's no space. And then, I don't know, they might sit on the floor outside when you tell them to go do their homework, which is not really what we were going for. So I thought I should probably try and make sure there's actual space for these Sims to do the things that I'm telling them to do. But for the business I put on this lot, I think I just used the Cat Cafe preset, and then if you want, you can like add to it. I think the one, it just says like drink coffee, drink tea, and read. But you can probably add like eat, do homework. Oh, there's obviously like the play with animals is in there as well, because otherwise it wouldn't really be much of a cat cafe. But I like how custom the businesses are. If you can tell by how I'm suddenly uploading on YouTube again, clearly this pack has really inspired me to start building again, because I just have so many ideas. As someone who really likes building, this is like a dream come true, because suddenly every single business I have ever wanted to build can exist, and they can also function. Because part of me is like, yeah, we could build cat cafes before and like they were fine, but also they're more fun now because you can like, they work the way they're meant to work. I also just like the idea of like, yeah, you could build like a cinema before, but now you can actually go to a cinema and then your Sims will do the things you would normally do at a cinema, and also you don't have to hide it and turn it into a lot that it's not, which is nice. But they're also paying like an entry fee, which might be annoying to some people, but I think it's more realistic to have to pay for things. So it makes sense to me that like if you go to a cinema, you have to pay an entry fee, or like if you go to I don't know, if you go to a tattoo place, you pay per hour while also paying for the tattoo itself. Like, there's a lot of things about this pack that just make businesses feel a lot more realistic, which I think is very nice. Like, I feel like a lot of this pack is very exciting from like the running a business point of view, but I also am very excited about like the options for visiting the business. It seems very exciting. So I'm just really excited to keep playing with this pack and see all of the like options that we have, because this is just, you can literally do anything you want. This is the dream. It's great. Simmers can go crazy. This is great. Also think about the things people can do with mods now, because you can literally just add any CC things in and make it something that you can do as a business activity. You could literally do whatever you want. This is the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. And I will say, part of me wants to like not hype this pack up too much, because I'm like, well, if you only have base game and this pack, would it still be as fun? Probably not, because there's not as many businesses that you could make, obviously. Like, you can't have a cat cafe without cats and dogs, and you can't have a knitting cafe without Nifty Knitting, and like all of these things. I've seen people build petting zoos. You can't have a petting zoo if you don't have any animals. So obviously, I do think that this pack is kind of like a pack that works really well for the people who have a lot of other packs. But as a person who has a lot of other packs, this is very fun for me. So I am very excited that this exists, and this is just wonderful news. I understand that this might be like, I don't know, a little bit of a disappointing pack to some people, but this I think has been one of the more like exciting packs for me, because I thought Life and Death was really cool, but I don't think I've played with much of Life and Death specifically, like the specific gameplay from it, since I like did my playthrough of that pack. Like, I don't really use the life goals that much because they're kind of random, and like, I don't know, I haven't had any Sims die, so I've not had any funerals. I've also not like done any, what's it called, the rebirth thing. I've not done any of that either, because again, I've not had any Sims die, so like there's not a lot of life and death you can do without, you know, when all of your Sims are staying alive. And then I think Love Struck, obviously it's very much in your gameplay, but I don't know, I'm not like specifically looking for these things, and I feel like these businesses I'm just gonna be excited about forever. And obviously I'm saying that now when the pack is like, I've had my hands on this pack for, you know, a week. So maybe I'm just too excited because it's new, but I just feel like this pack has a lot of potential for me, and I'm very excited about it. You'll see now that I'm also doing the apartment that's on the side of it. It's kind of small because I wanted to put most of that space for the lot into the cat cafe, because I thought that made more sense. So it's just like a living room, kitchen, and then upstairs I don't have any like separate rooms really. It's just kind of like a loft bedroom area. Again, with the wonderful bed that came with the pack. I'm pretty sure that's the same swatch I used as the last time I did a build, so I'm sorry for using the same stuff over and over again, but it's so beautiful. This bed is like the best thing they've ever made. Not really, but it's really nice. And I'm just really excited about it. I feel like beds and sofas and stuff, they're very much like a defining thing in a room. So when we get new ones that I like, I'm like, I'm gonna be using this forever. Same with like big rugs, like the 3x4 tile rugs. If we get a good new one of those, it will be everywhere for the foreseeable future, because I'm just so excited about it. So you'll see that. You'll also see the new plant that we got in the new expansion pack. Oh my god, it's wonderful. It's like, we kind of have a similar plant to it in the base game, but it's so much bigger and it takes up so much more space, so it's really hard to like fit into spaces. And the new one from the expansion pack, it's like skinny and tall, so it fits in corners so perfectly. Oh my god, it's perfect. I am so excited about it. So there's a lot of things about this pack that I am really, really enjoying, clearly. I'm talking very positively about it. So this pack has been bringing me a lot of joy. And I think the world is really nice. I like that there's like collections of things you can fish out of the water. Because when I saw the clean canals option, I was talking like, oh yeah, there would be so many bikes in the canals in Amsterdam. And then I pulled out a bike wheel and I was like, oh, I guess they know that there's a lot of bikes in canals, but I thought that was kind of fun. Anyway, thank you so much for listening to me rant and watching me build this lovely cat cafe. It's up on my gallery if you want to play with it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I stream The Sims over on my Twitch on Tuesdays and on Saturdays, so come hang out with me if you'd like. I also do co-working on Wednesdays, so there's a little bit of everything for you. But thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate you, and I will see you guys in the next one. Goodbye!